may be wondering, Owen, why do you look insanely tired? Why are you feeling emotionally, physically and mentally exhausted? And why are you wearing the most obnoxious looking luminous green padlock necklace? Well, I just went to my first Pride. Hey guys, it's Owen, and yes, I am back for another video already. Can you believe it? I've been true to my word. I didn't think it would happen myself, so here we are. I thought I'd talk about the fact that I just went to my first ever Pride. Last weekend was London Pride Festival, and it was the first Pride that I've ever been to. So it was pretty exciting for me, but also pretty scary as well, considering, as I talked about in my last video, I've just moved to London, and all of this is like a bit scary and exciting and new. So I went with my best friend Leon, and it was an experience, let me tell you that. Let's just say that it involved travelling all the way into London, doing over 25,000 steps. Thank you, Health app, Apple, you have done me justice there. And also deciding that the only thing that I was really interested in the whole day was going to watch Becky Hill and Aja from RuPaul's Drag Race at the club after. Turns out I had to wait 3 hours in a queue to eventually not get to see Becky Hill or Aja and go home again, hence the tired and knackeredness of how I look. I apologise. There was also a lovely experience where Leon and I really found out how little we do know about London and its tubes, because we were going one way for the tube towards where we wanted to go, and all of a sudden it switched and went the other way. So if you're going to go to London Pride, make sure you're aware of your surroundings and maybe the tube service is a little bit more unlike us. It was both of our first Prides ever, and it was pretty exciting. There was a lot of people everywhere. It made me feel really great seeing so many people who were, wearing whatever the hell they wanted, feeling very confident and feeling like happy, and it made me feel also the same. I was going there on my own to meet Leon on the tube, and I was wearing, as you can see from the photos and videos, a very revealing vest top thing with this necklace as well. And let's just say I felt a little bit awkward to put a jumper on the tube, as you do, and I wasn't feeling my best self. And then as I was getting closer towards central London, a swarm of just people with glitter and cool outfits and people just having the best time came on, and it made me feel so much more welcomed and happy to be in the great city of London that I'm in. I'd say going to Pride was really, really important for me because, well, I haven't really been able to express my sexuality and how I feel very openly all the time. It's something that I've never talked about on this channel. Obviously I've had videos where it's suggested I might be something or whatever, but I've never really talked about it explicitly one-on-one, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to talk about myself in light of Pride and just, make you aware a little bit more about me. So I am bisexual. That is the term that I like to associate myself with, which, as you probably know, it means that I am attracted to both guys and girls. Questions people ask me a lot of the time is, Owen, is it 50-50? Do you like them equally? Every time I'm like, no, it definitely depends. I found that because I've generally been in relationships with guys more recently, it's more like 70-30, 80-20, but then occasionally I also am attracted to girls, and that's just something that I've come to terms with. But also I think what's really important is to speak about the fact that my sexuality is constantly changing. I feel like bisexual is the best label that describes me, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be the label that I follow with the rest of my life. And also labels this, labels that. I mean, Dan is Not on Fire's video about his sexuality really enlightened me about the importance of understanding that some people really enjoy having a label, and that gives them a sense of empowerment, and other people just they sort of don't really care about the whole label thing. And I feel like I veer more on that side because I'm more like, does it really matter what people associate with me, what people call me? No, it doesn't. I'm just sort of doing me as everyone else is doing themselves. I just said everyone is doing themselves. That's not what I meant. I think sexuality is something that's really important to talk about, and it's something that it's taken me a long time to sort of be aware of, but also I feel like I did that whole thing quite early on. I have a really supportive family. I have a lot of LGBTQ plus members in my family, and that, you know, I'm really lucky and grateful to have that, because I know a lot of people are maybe the first person in that family who is gay or bisexual or transgender or queer, and it can be really difficult to get out there and talk about it, which is why I feel like, you know, it's only my place to also talk about how I am and what my experiences are. And I would say that if you are maybe scared of talking about your sexuality or understanding it, go to Pride, because even though I was already quite aware of who I was, well, I thought I was aware of who I was, going to Pride made me feel even better in the sense that it doesn't matter what you are or who you are, it's just about a celebration, and anyone can come, anyone can join in. This is an important event for people who are LGBTQ+, because we are in constant fear of, you know, holding hands with our partner in public, you know, understanding our emotions and our sexuality and our gender. The amount of homophobic hate crimes in London increased over the last couple of years than it did this year. So as someone who is living in London and who is queer, that is really, really scary, and it's really important that we talk about these issues, because I'm here right now and I'm talking about it openly, and that could put me at danger, but it is important to talk about it because there's a lot of other people who might be confused or might just generally not understand it, and that's why I'm hoping to channel my insight and wisdom, which I apparently think I have, to you, my camera, which is right in front of me. All in all, Pride was amazing, and I think something that's come up a lot recently is like the whole concept of straight pride and why there's this whole month, day, year, whatever for the gays, basically. And I get it, you know, like Pride in America is in June, London Pride just happened in July, August is Brighton Pride, there's Pride a lot of the time, and potentially people might be confused about why there's such an event for people who a lot of the time it might seem like they're happy and they're great and there's no issues. Well, the important thing to remember is there's still over 70 countries around the world that classifies homosexuality as illegal, and people will die for it. And although you might feel as if everything's perfect and fine in the UK, or, you know, in your bubble, or your gay friends are happy, they're all fine, it doesn't necessarily mean that the same thing stands around the world. And also, just because maybe a certain type of queer person is accepted means that actually a lot of other types might not be accepted. The amount of transphobia that still exists around the world, and that people, you know, they can't just accept that actually, why can't you just let people live their own lives however they want to live it, as long as they're not harming anybody else, then it shouldn't affect you. And that is, I think, the clear message to take away from it, and that's why Pride is so important, is that it's just people feeling happy, feeling secure in themselves for one day of the year, wherever they live. And that is why Pride might, you know, go on for a long time, is because there's a lot of places in the world, Jesus, like, which means there's a lot of gay people, like, everybody wants their day to feel special and to feel comfortable and safe, and everybody else gets that pretty much every day of the year. You know, I suppose you could say if there was something that you really loved to do, but you couldn't do it, it was frowned upon in society, and you couldn't express yourself, say, in a sport or activity or a hobby of yours, and then there was one day where all the people who loved the same thing that you loved all could do it freely and express themselves, of course you would go along to it, because you'd want to feel comfortable and safe. And I suppose that sort of follows with Pride as well. So yeah, that is my experience with Pride. I enjoyed it a lot, even if it was tiring, even if I did have to wear this lime green necklace. Well, didn't have to, I chose to, you know, style icon. But it was a really great experience, and I would definitely recommend anyone who wants to go, to feel comfortable, and also, you know, to speak to your gay friends and make sure they're okay, or your trans friends or your queer friends, and make sure that they're okay and that they're doing well, because you never know, sometimes it can be daunting, especially as it has been for me too, moving to such a big city, to feel comfortable and feel safe. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below. I will see you soon, and I've done it once, I can do it again. Let's hope so. See you later.